by Dubai Investments, the public joint stock company with investments in industry, finance, and property development. This is Dubai Eye 103.8. We mean business.
Time of the Business Breakfast is 7:48, and we're pleased to welcome into the studio now Orit, Mohammed, the runner-up in Dubai Eye's Big Break competition, which climaxed 10 days ago. She comes from Ethiopia and imports coffee beans from Ethiopia to Dubai to roast and sell. And appropriately, coffee trees originated in Ethiopian province of Kaffa. And originally the beans were actually eaten, not brewed. Orit's family has a long history in the coffee trade, and it's a story that we're pleased to tell now on the Business Breakfast. Good morning to you, Orit. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Well, firstly, Orit, I mean, congratulations on getting so far in the Big Break competition. A great achievement for you, although it must have been painful to come second. In the week or so since the competition finished, has it changed anything in your life, either practically or in recognition?
Yes, tremendously. Our business has changed tremendously. We've had a lot of exposure, people wanting to take it to a different level, especially to a different country, such as China or South Africa. But more importantly, locally, we've had a lot of local businesses contacting us, especially with the organic trade. They wanted to see.
So people are actually getting in touch with you now,
yes.
which of course wasn't the case before the competition.
Not at all, yes.
So do you feel that, I mean, overall the competition was really good for your business, even though you didn't actually finally manage to win that last bit?
Yes, it gave us a lot of exposure. We would have never been able to do that by ourselves. So this is, for a small business like ours, this is what we need. This was the step up to be known.
And I understand that the actual winner of the competition has been quite generous in sharing a prize with you.
Most definitely. She gave 25,000 dirham, about 10% of her award to us to advertise, for advertisement. This is...
Which was the $250,000 dirhams ARN were giving away to advertise on the radio. So
yes.
You got 10% of that. Deviani, a very nice gesture by
her. Extremely. So I know how important it is at the beginning of business. Every penny counts. So this is a lot of money for us and for her, I'm sure.
Well, I think the thing about this is it's given you a sort of platform already to show that you're a capable person, that you come over as being a credible person, and you've got a good story to tell as well. I mean, just brief us a little bit on your family story. I mean, how long were they in coffee beans in Ethiopia?
Well, I come from Harar, from eastern Ethiopia. It's one of the oldest coffee region. So coffee has been in our family for generations. Everybody in that region did coffee. So from my grandfather on, everybody was a farmer. The last generation, my parents decided to move to the city, but we still worked in the coffee exporting part of it. So now I'm bringing it back, and I'm also working in that aspect. So coffee is in our DNA, I think, most Ethiopians.
So did you grow up as a kid smelling the beans and understanding which were good and bad?
Most definitely. Smelling, tasting, this. Yes, exactly. So everybody, especially in our region, but all of Ethiopia actually, part of our culture is to celebrate coffee. So that's a great part of Ethiopian culture. But
as I say, I was surprised to read that they were actually eaten before they were brewed. Did people still eat them? Eat the beans?
Yes, they still do. And we use every part of coffee, the cover, the inside, we brew it. So it's us.
You can buy coffee beans covered in chocolate milk for a snack.
I've seen those. Those look rather nice, actually.
They are.
Yes.
So tell us how that turned into you setting up your own company, Orit.
Yeah. When I came here, I was very surprised to find coffee straight from Ethiopia to the local market, because we're so close to Dubai. So every coffee, the Ethiopian coffee I found, was blended in from another country, such as Europe or Australia or America. So I was extremely surprised that there was not straight route, fresh coffee coming in. So I was like, well, why not bring my straight coffee and roast it? I'm sure a lot of people would appreciate the taste if they tasted it.
So do you actually go to Ethiopia to actually source the beans yourself?
We do, but we set up an office right now. But every year, this is the coffee season actually, where coffees are just being picked. So we do go, but we have an office, 16 office over there, and we are here too.
So you pick the beans. How do you actually get them to Dubai?
By ship, vessels. We bring in Dubai. In 4 or 5 days, it gets here to this port. So this is as close as this is as fresh as you can get.
Yeah, and who roasts them for you?
We have local roaster,
Roastery.
specialist who are doing that.
You're not the only guys who are roasting their own coffee here. I mean, we've spoken to Coffee Planet a couple of times, and I know they have a very large roastery here.
Yes.
I think the guys from Raw do so as well. How competitive is it getting now for that sort of locally roasted Dubai-produced coffee?
Not that competitive, because the market is huge. The coffee market is huge. So the more of us there is, the more people would prefer specialty coffee, I think.
So what is the competition based on? I mean, when you go into hotels to try and convince them to buy your coffee to serve to their guests, what is it that they make their decisions based on? Is it taste, or are hotels more worried about the cost?
Branding, this area, people want branded, Western brand especially. So it's our job to teach them that the differences. So the local roasters, that they're helping me actually, because they're opening the path. And so when I come in, it's easier to say this and that. But a lot of the hotels here want branding. They want something they know, some European brand associated with the machine. This is what they want.
Are the machines eating into your business? I mean, again, we've spoken to the Nespresso people. I know what you mean. Is that the Lavazza, you often see the sort of the signs in coffee shop windows to say that this is the coffee they sell, because people know the brand. I mean, are you seeing more and more hotels buying the machines instead of sort of doing coffee the old-fashioned way?
Yes, and a lot of people, to give credit, drink their coffee with so much stuff in it. So with milk, chocolate, so they're not very much aware of the taste of coffee. But when people start learning the taste difference, then they'll start drinking.
Your turnover at the moment is about 500,000 dirhams a year, with the potential to grow quickly, especially now that you've been on the big break competition. Is coffee a very profitable business?
It's extremely profitable. It's profitable, and we want to make it profitable not just for our end, also to the other end. That's why we're
the Ethiopian end. You mean?
Yes, to the farmers where we're sourcing. So we're keen to give. Not only are we buying fair trade, 10% of our profit.
I mean, you are a great believer in fair trade and ethical trade as well. How easy is it in a country like Ethiopia to ascertain exactly what's going on at farm level?
It's getting better. The government's getting better. They're negotiating on behalf of the farmers now. And so this is getting better. And I'm from there, so I know the farmers. I don't have to dig in too deep to find out who I'm giving back to. So this has been great for us.
You started to say there about what you were doing with 10% of your profits in terms of putting it back into the community. All right, what are you doing?
10% of the profit is going straight to educating the children of the farmers. So we feel that that's the only way they're going to have a better negotiation for the next generation. So we're giving that already. We've been doing that before we made our profit, actually, but this will help us grow.
Now, what is your upside potential, Orit? I mean, could you get big enough to sell to the major coffee chains or to major coffee packagers?
Yes, actually, even Starbucks is not right now buying coffee from Ethiopia. They're having a dispute with the government. So therefore, you can't even buy Ethiopian coffee if you go to your local Starbucks or most of them. So yes, we could be. And this being...
Are you talking to them?
No, they're not talking to us yet.
Because you're too small? Or
Yes, we are. We're small. But Ethiopia, coffee in general is traded by traders. Coffee is bought by traders and sold to these large companies. So we believe that Dubai, the location, will allow us to do that too. That we can bring a huge amount of green coffee and distribute it.
Is that one of the issues for a small manufacturer such as yourself or a roaster? Because they want to have like for like in every shop, that you're just never going to be big enough to actually supply them?
Well, they want their own thing, but we will be big enough. I mean, we could be big enough because we have experts in both ends. So I think there is the potential to see, especially in Dubai, in the UAE.
What about getting your coffee on the shelves of Spinneys, doing the retail?
Yes, our plan is to do mass marketing, but Dubai is not very easy to find the door to open, somebody to let you in. We've been knocking, so hopefully somebody will open.
Do you produce enough coffee to do that?
Yes, and we're close enough that we ship our coffee, like we're getting a couple of containers fast enough. That's not a problem at all for us.
And what about exports from Dubai? Exporting out to the wider region. Are you doing that?
No, not yet, but that is the plan.
It's really a beginning business, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm hoping that you'll have had enough exposure and people will see you as a credible businesswoman from the competition, that now, in the next year or so, you will be able to move your business onto a completely different level?